All right, so we have concluded our section on the basics of modeling in Blender. And as you probably have noticed, modeling is a very mathematical process. And it is great for achieving hard surface forms, simple forms, things like that. But you may be wondering, how is it that, the games you play or the films you watch achieve such high level of detail and, smoothness in organic forms? And the way that this is achieved is through sculpting. Now, digital sculpting, also just referred to as sculpting, is the use of a software that offers tools to push, pull, smooth, grab, pinch, or otherwise manipulate a digital object as if it were made of clay. So right here I have some examples brought up for you of things that can be created with sculpting. This is the ZBrush gallery. You can find it if you just Google ZBrush and gallery. And all these pieces here have been sculpted in a program called ZBrush. Now, ZBrush is a standalone program used for digital sculpting. It is most often used at the professional level, as you can see through some of the results that are achievable in it. However, the licenses for ZBrush are quite expensive. Luckily, Blender has its own sculpting capabilities, and that is what we are going to be looking at in this course. But do not be fooled, you do not need expensive software to achieve really incredible results. One last thing I want to touch on before we get started looking at sculpting in Blender is pen tablets. So we're going to proceed through sculpting, and as we do, you may notice that you feel quite limited in what you can do using a mouse and keyboard, and that is where pen tablets come in. Now, this is totally optional, but here I just have pulled up Wacom pen tablets. Wacom is the brand that is most commonly used for in the industry. So just want to show you what these tablets are. Basically, they are tablets that plug into your computer that give you a surface that allows you to draw on it with a special stylus that will translate the strokes you make on this surface onto your 3D forms. So this is really useful if you're finding that limited by the mouse. This is really useful if you're feeling very limited by the mouse, and it can get you more natural strokes, and it is much more intuitive, feels much more like drawing. However, that being said, this is totally optional. You do not need to buy one of these if you do not want to, but if you do feel like this is something that you want to keep pursuing beyond this course, I promise you that getting one of these tablets will be a good investment. And there's all sorts of models ranging in all sorts of price ranges. I believe this is their most basic one. It is just, a flat tablet with the sensors for the stylus. But they have, ones that have a screen in them, so you can draw directly onto the screen and that plug into your computer. And they have ones that have sort of their own processing power and act as standalone computers. These can get very pricey. However, that being said, their basic models are much more affordable. Again, this is totally optional. You do not need to buy one of these to proceed with the course. I just wanted to make you aware of them in case you were interested. So I'm going to pause the recording here, and when we come back, we're going to start looking at sculpting within Blender.